everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Crafty Sue, and today I am going to do my market recap with you. Does this time change have you all messed up? Sure has me messed up. It's what now, 10:30 in the morning, and I'm doing a video. I never do videos this early, but I've been up since before 7 because my body is still on the old time. Crazy. Last night it was like 9 o'clock or something like that, and Grumpy was like, I can't go to bed yet, it's too early. But it felt like it was later. Oh, I hate these time changes. I wish they would do away with them for good. We don't need it. Just go away. Don't like it. You know what? The only good thing it's for is to change the batteries in our fire detectors, because that's when we change our batteries. Every time we change the clock, time, we changed our batteries. So it's a good reminder for that. Other than that, it's a pain in the butt. Anyhow, hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I did. I had a great weekend. I had my market on Saturday. Yesterday, my son and my grandson Logan came over for football. Wonderful Patriots won their game again, which was wonderful. And Buffalo beat Kansas City. Yay, I love Josh Allen. I just think he's so adorable. Anyhow, I won't go into too much football talk for you. Oh gosh, excuse me if I'm doing this. I feel so bad for Heather, but I can relate, believe me. My allergies. And then my nose just starts dripping. Had to go out for my allergy shots this morning, so I was out bright and early. And I was coming home and driving down my street, and my gardener was doing one of my neighbor's houses. And he saw me, and he started walking towards me. And sweet, sweet man. Sweet, sweet man. I had him as my gardener many years ago. And at the time, we had our 2 pugs. And he had cut the grass in the backyard and didn't close the gate. And I let the pugs out, figuring the gate was closed. My fault, too, because I didn't check. And they both ran off. Oh, my gosh. I was hysterical. Grumpy was working at the time, and I called him, and I said, you got to come home. You got to help me find Tank and Tiki. They're off somewhere. I don't know where. Somebody's going to take them. I was crying and driving around trying to find them. Grumpy got home, and finally, we found them. Tank was soaking wet. He must have gone swimming in one of the ponds, and Tiki was harassing some old gentleman at his house in his driveway. But we got them back, and they were safe and sound, and I fired my gardener. I fired him. I was so upset that he didn't do that, because I stress it so much. Make sure you close the gate. Close the gate. We'll lock it afterwards, but close that gate. And he forgot, and I guess I was a little too hysterical. But anyway, I forgot to turn my light on. Ooh. It's a little too bright. Oops. These electronics, honestly. There, that's better. So anyhow, I ended up rehiring him. I'm crooked. And I just saw him up the street a little while ago. So he came over and, hi, Sue, hi, Sue. At first he was afraid of me, I think. And now we're very good friends. He's awesome. Full of hugs all the time. And he walks up to me and he says, wow, Sue, you look great driving. I said, it's not me, Reggie, it's the car. He goes, no, Sue, it's you. I said, okay, thank you, Reggie. I appreciate it. Cut my grass. Good guy. Really good guy. I'm glad I have him back and got over my hysterics over the dogs. We don't have them anymore. They've both passed, but Oh, gosh. But we got Reggie. We got Reggie. Oh, sorry if I do this all the time. I'm not going to pause the video 100 times to catch a drip. So you're not here to hear all my stories and all of that stuff today. We can save any stories I may have for Wednesday. But I do have stories about the market. So this market was 15 minutes from here. We're not very far at all. And it was at a church. This is the 6th year they do this. And it's in a town called Sun City. And it's a retirement community. So there are lots of communities with people who have retired. And so I knew there would be a lot of older people coming to this, which made it really hard for me to pick what I wanted to bring to the market. And you saw on the video, I opened with what I did decide to bring. So they wanted you to set up on Friday if you could. Now, I've never pre-set up a market before, and I've definitely never left my product without me there. So I was really unsure of what I was going to do. I was under the impression that we had to bring one 6-foot table and our own chairs. But when we got there Friday afternoon, the tables and chairs were already set up for us. So they showed me where my table would be. And it was pretty good because you walk through the door, and if you just go straight down the main aisle, I was like 4 tables down on the right. So that was good. I was happy with it. It was full. It was full of vendors, and they also had some vendors outside. So we set up, and as I'm watching it, everybody was just putting their products out and getting their tables totally set. So I said to Grumpy, I'm going to put my stuff out. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to put my stuff out. They said that it's protected and locked up and safe, and it's in a church, for heaven's sakes. It's gotta be okay. It's gotta be okay. So I did. I set up everything Friday, which totally took any stress off of us for Saturday morning. We could take our time. It started at 9 in the morning. So we could take our time, get some coffee and something on our way. And when I was done setting up, one of the ladies, older lady, who I feel weird saying that because I am an older lady, but older than me, came up to the booth and she was looking at my lamb lovey. Now, I made this quite a while ago. It's one of the Mama Made Minis patterns from her book. And it's so soft. It was just so soft, and it had the little sleepy eyes, no, safety eyes on it. And she kept looking at it and touching it, and she says, I have a new great granddaughter, and I was thinking of getting this for her. So I explained to her, I says, well, this one is a good one to pick because it's totally safe for babies. There's nothing on here that can harm them. And it's up to you. And I showed her a couple little things about it. And she just loved it. So she bought it. $32. Well, actually $31. She had $31 in cash on her. And she was like, well, I can wait till tomorrow and bring you the other $1. And I said, no, it's okay. That's fine. And I asked the gentleman, he was one of the people running this market. I says, is it all right to take a sale today? Because I don't want to break any of your rules or anything. He goes, no, go ahead. You got something sold already? And I said, yeah. And he knew the lady because she was helping to work the market. So there I was. Before I even left, I almost made my fee back because my fee for that market was $40, and I just sold a $32 item. So that was pretty good. So going into it on Saturday morning, I really felt good. I really felt good. Now this was a little bit different. On my thumbnail, I said what a wonderful market this was, or my best market or favorite market, I think. And it was by far my favorite market I've ever done. I know the one a couple of weeks ago I made a real lot of money at and everything, but this one was special. It was just special. Showed up Saturday morning, got there around 8:30. Didn't have to do anything, just sit until they opened the doors for the customers. And oh my gosh, I could not believe how many people came to this thing. It was unbelievable. This was by far the best run market I have ever done. I have never gotten so much attention from people running this market like I did on Saturday. They were constantly checking on you, anything they can do for you. Are you doing okay? Are you selling stuff? Anything we can do to make it better. They were just wonderful, wonderful. Someone would go around with a cart full of water bottles and bring you water. I never, ever had that happen. They were just incredible. And the people, yes, 90% of the people who came were my age or older. And oh my gosh, it was like we were just all old friends. We would stand and chat and talk about things on my table, and they were so complimentary. And I have to say, the first booth as you walk in, it took a double booth. And I'm going out on a limb here, but I am 100% sure the crocheted animals she was selling were bought from someplace like Temu, and she was reselling them. There is no way that anyone, and she was older as well, could make all of these acrylic animals perfectly like these were. I knew as soon as I looked at them that they were manufactured. That kind of ticked me off. Later in the day, I happened to be walking by and I heard someone ask, "Did you make these?" And the woman said yes. And I wanted to jump over the table and say, "Don't lie. Don't lie to people." But I think a lot of people caught on. I did see some people walking around with them. But I also had a lot of people who came to my booth. I was just 3 booths over from her. And the minute they touched mine, oh my gosh, these are so soft. They're so soft. Did you make these? And I said, absolutely. I says, every one of these is handmade by me. Every one. And what is this yarn? A lot of them didn't know, the differences in yarn. And I would just say, well, it's chenille yarn. It's nice and soft. And yeah, they seemed to prefer the handmade ones than the store-bought ones. She sold some. And I had a little bit of a hard time because when the market was over, they passed out a questionnaire to see if there was anything they could do to improve the market. Now, I walked around before we opened to see what everybody had. And every table was handmade. Every one except that one. And I don't know if when she applied, if she didn't say it wasn't handmade. I don't know if the people running it knew her, if she's a member of the church. So they let her come in. I don't know the details. All I know is that they were not handmade. And for any of you who are crocheters and you go to markets and you see this, it really bothers you. Tracy, Travel Crochet, I know that happened to her once, but people would touch those and then see hers and touch hers and notice the difference immediately and preferred to buy from her because of the softness, and they were handmade. Anyway, that was my only gripe of the day. I did not put it on the paper. I didn't. I didn't want to be that person that complained. The women around me, we all kind of talked about it. But I don't think anybody put anything down about it. This also was the market I spent the most money at. I bought from 3 different vendors. Lady to the right of me did resin things, and I should have brought it in here. I almost did, but I didn't. But she did little night lights, and they had a little decoration. It was just a little square and lights up, and just put a little decoration on front, and they were adorable. My daughter-in-law does resin and does markets. As a matter of fact, this week, starting Thursday, they have a 4-day market at our state fairgrounds right here in Tampa, not far from us at all. Ugh, I could never do 4 days. Never, ever, ever. Oh my gosh. I hope it's better than last year, because last year they really crowded everybody into one small building because the other building had damage from the hurricane. And this year it's repaired, so they're going to be able to spread them out more. So I hope to be able to get over there one of the days. I have to pick up my grandsons from school Thursday and Friday because they'll be at that market. And I think on Friday we'll take them out to dinner someplace, because they're going to be alone all day Saturday and Sunday. They're 15. They don't care. They just sit and play their games, and they're as happy as can be. And now that Jacob has a girlfriend, well, she can't go over when parents aren't there, though. So I don't know if he's going to get to see her over the weekend. We'll see. Maybe they'll come here. She's so cute. I like her so much. So anyhow, boy, for someone who doesn't have any stories to tell, I sure am blabbing, aren't I? Why don't we get to the market? Oh, one story first. Let's see. Never mind. I'll say it in here because it has to do with the things I sold. So as I said earlier, the first thing I sold was my lamb lovey, and that was $32, but I took $31 because that's what she had on her. And I was very surprised and happy to see that go. Very happy to see that go. And then that was the day before we opened. Then that morning, a lady who had a booth across from me came over, and she says, I just keep looking at your things. She says, I just had a great grandson, and I want to get something for him. Well, she's looking and looking, and I says, well, and I pointed out, I had two more loveys with me. I had brought 2 more that morning after I sold the lamb one. And she bought my bee lovey, and that's the one that I made with a pattern from Mimi Makes Keepsakes. Love that little bee lovey. Got to make another one. And I sold that for $24. So now I've made my money back. First 2 sales, my booth is paid for. Did not expect that. Went in this with totally no expectations. Totally no expectations. The next thing to sell, I think I bought a Christmas centerpiece from a nice couple. The husband was in a wheelchair. And I said to the wife, of course, oh, you make beautiful centerpieces, the Christmas centerpieces. I should have brought, I debated whether to bring that in here to show you or not, but I decided not to. And she said, well, thank you, but I didn't make them, he did. And I looked at him, I said, you made all of these? And he goes, yeah. He says, I got to do something to keep busy. And they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I think I bought I definitely bought the most expensive one and a bigger one. And it's a sleigh, and it's filled with poinsettias and greenery and that kind of stuff. All, fake, but so pretty. I usually buy a big poinsettia plant and put it on my dining room table every year. And I get so tired of all of the leaves that dry up and fall and dry up and fall. And it always makes a mess, always makes a mess. So I saw that and I said, you know what? That's it. I'm done with the poinsettias. Now I'll have a pretty centerpiece. It's fairly large, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm very happy with that purchase. And it was $40 and he gave me $10 off. So I only paid $30 for it, which was wonderful. I kept saying, no, I'm happy to pay the $40. You put a lot of work into this. It's beautiful. It's in a sleigh that he had gotten at Hobby Lobby. He said he got the sleigh and then he filled it and decorated it. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. So when I got back to the booth, I had to run back to get cash because that's all they took was cash. And I didn't have the cash on me, so I went back to my booth to get it. And I noticed one of my bees was missing. I had 2 bees out, and there was only one. And I turned to Grumpy and I said, somebody bought a bee? He goes, yeah. And I says, oh, okay. He goes, well, he says, I took the bee, and there was a lady across from us, kind of diagonally, who sold honey. They had hives and they sold their honey, wildflower honey. And he walked up to her with one of the bees and said to her, you need one of these for your booth. And she says, you know what? You're right. And she bought the bee. I could not believe he did that. So I says, well, you know what you just did? He goes, yeah, I got a sale. I said, yeah, now I have to go buy honey from her because she bought the bee. Now I have to buy more honey. I've got more honey that I've bought from people. It's crazy. So I did. I went and bought a little bottle of honey from her. Very nice people. Very, very nice people. So they want a bee for $12. Crazy day. Then a lady came by and she bought one of my packs of scrubbies for $7. And next was a couple, and they bought 2 of my candy corns. That was $11 for the 2 of those. And then a younger mom came, not real young, I would say 30s or so. And she bought my little Bluey for her son for $15. These people love the chicken and eggs. They were getting such a big kick out of that. I don't care where you bring these things. People love them. They don't always buy them, but they love them. But someone bought a chicken and egg for $10. And another lady came and bought a pack of scrubbies for $7. And then there was a grandmother with a little boy. And he wanted something, but he didn't know what he wanted. And he was looking around at things, and she kept steering him away from things that might have been girly to her. To him, it was just an animal that he liked. Is it dark in here? You know what? I forgot to put the light on. Hold on. It's bothering me. Ugh. That's a little better, isn't it? I don't know. I can't tell. Sorry about that. I'm not editing it out. letting it out. So he ended up choosing one of those slap bracelet snakes that I make. So I slapped it onto his wrist, and he was as happy as could be, and off he went with his little snake on his wrist. Very cute. Very, very cute. Someone bought a jumping spider for $10. The slap snake. I can talk. The slap snake was $10 as well. I don't remember who bought the spider. I don't remember. I mean, there were times where there would be 5 or 6 women in front of my booth just blabbing away. And a lady who had a booth behind me leaned over and she goes, "Don't you just love it when they stop in front of your booth and blab?" It's like, it's fine. I'll get up and walk over and I'll either start talking with them or they'll move on. But it happened a lot. There are a lot of people who came to this thing. A lot of people. Next thing to sell. Oh, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. My splooting moose. Someone bought my splooting moose. Oh, I love that moose. I'm going to have to make another one. That was $27. And then there was this lady who came. Oh, she was the sweetest thing. Sweetest thing. And she loved everything. And she had stopped at that other booth with the acrylic animals. And she said, "They don't have anything little over there, and it's not nice and soft like your stuff." So she starts looking and looking, and next thing I know, she's picking up chicken and egg, strawberry keychain, my last Myrtle turtle, a dust bunny, my last dust bunny, and my chick car swing. She bought 5 items. 5 items. She was having a ball. She's laughing as she's picking them up and going, "This is too cute. This is too cute." And she filled a bag with 5 items. That was a $48 sale. I'll take that. I was very happy with that. And then a girl came by and she was learning, or she had learned to crochet, I believe. And she bought, her parents bought, she was a young, maybe a very young teenager. And she bought my rose turtle. Remember those turtles with a big rose on its back for the shell? She bought that for $18. And then somebody came by and bought a rainbow keychain and my last candy corn. I sold out of candy corn. So they were $6 each. So that was $12. I sold a Frankie the Frog for $10. Another lady came over and she starts laughing, and I got up and I says, what's the matter? And she said, "Oh, these dumpster fires. This is my sister." And she grabbed one. She goes, "I got to get this for her." So she bought a dumpster fire for $16. And then a lady from a booth 2 over from me, her mom was the vendor there. She paints, and she was there to help her mom for the day. And she came over and she goes, "I have to buy something for my son." And she kept looking and looking and didn't know what she wanted. And she stop. Go back to bed, Sue. She spotted my small snake. She spotted my small steak. Okay, I promise. I haven't been drinking or anything. She's spotted my small snake. And she bought that for $10. Oh, gosh. Oh, sorry. Maybe I should have waited till Wednesday. Oh, gosh. Then someone came over and bought my little pumpkin stress ball and one of my rustic pumpkins, a real little one. The stress ball was $10 and the little pumpkin, real little pumpkin was $8. So that was an $18 sale. Then I sold another bee to a younger man. He liked that bee. He wanted that bee. And then we got to the last sale of the day. You know, there's always one. You know, remember at the last one, I had the one where the woman bought that big Kumara dragon for her fiance because he loved it so much. Well, this is kind of on that line. There was a family, a husband, a wife, a daughter, and either the husband or wife's mother. There were 4 of them, and they were looking at the table, and the wife was loving everything. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Oh, I love this. I love this. And she was just going on and on and on about the stuff at the table. And I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn, and it's the husband, and he hands me $40. I says, "What's this for?" He goes, "Shh," and he points. Well, it was my scarecrow. My scarecrow. I swear I got tears in my eyes because I really didn't care if I didn't sell that scarecrow. But I did. So I hurried and put it in a bag, and he handed her the bag and surprised her with it. And you bought this for me? He said, yeah. So I says, oh, I'll get you a $10 change. And he goes, oh, no, wait. And he went over and was looking at the car swings and bought the frog one for $10. And that was my $40 sale right at the end of the day. Just so sweet. Just so sweet that he did that for her. Broke my heart. Broke my heart. We were all laughing about it because I'm ready to cry, because not only did my favorite scarecrow sell, but my favorite moose sold too. Both of my favorite things sold that day. So was not expecting that. Was not expecting that at all. So I ended up, the market ran from 9 to 2. And it was busy there were people the whole day. I mean, it got a little bit slower around 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. I figured everybody was out for lunch or something. But I ended up with 20 transactions with a total of 28 items sold. I thought that was great. I thought that was great. Only $85 in square, but $264 in cash for a total of $349 in sales. I was thrilled. Did not expect that at all. My booth fee was $40. Square fee was $2.69 for a total of $42.69 in fees. So after fees, I had $306.31. That was a very successful market to me. Very successful. Not only for sales. This was not a market where the money meant much. I've never felt so comfortable at a market as I did at this one. I have never seen people who run a market pay attention to their vendors like these people did. My gosh, it was incredible. I have never had anybody come around and give me nice cold bottles of water to drink. Ever. It was just so nice. And the people, the customers, it was like you knew everybody. you just start a conversation and you're talking like you've known this person forever. Didn't matter if they bought something or not. I enjoyed talking with them so much, so much that, oh, it was just a marvelous day. My best day ever at a market as far as how I felt about everything. I'm not putting down that one I had 2 weeks ago where I made all that money. That was great. That was great. And the people there were nice too. I had no issues at all. But there was just something special with this one. Just something special. I think it had to do with being in a church. I think someone was really watching over all of us because it was great. And on the way out, I said to the gentleman who was one of the people running it, I says, I would love to come back next year. And he says, oh, you'll be invited back. And I said, good, because I'll be here. I loved this, absolutely loved this. So that was my day. It was awesome. We were done at 2 o'clock. We didn't have to, we just had to take the stuff off the table. It didn't take us long at all because they gave us the table and chairs. They were all set up when we got there. Just throw the tablecloth on and off we go. So I will end with a little video of what my table looked like at the end of the day. And maybe a little hard to tell because I did replace a couple of things because I had a few extras with me. My big disappointment, none of my big pumpkins sold. I don't know. It's not a pumpkin year, I guess. Not a pumpkin year. I got lots of pumpkins. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind at all. And just a wonderful day. So that's it. That's all I have for you. And lots of you were asking when I was going to do this, so I decided to do it early today. So I will be back on Wednesday with a few makes because I only started crocheting last night. So there's not going to be 18 plushies on Wednesday. For sure. So have a good week. I'll see you all on Wednesday. And until then, keep crocheting. Bye.
Laura.